Hey everyone! Today we're diving into one of the darkest and most brutal moments in the Monsterverse, the near extinction of Godzilla's species. And guess who's responsible? That's right, MUTO Prime. If you've seen Godzilla, King of the Monsters, or Godzilla vs. Kong, you know that Godzilla is the last of his kind. But what happened to the rest? Well, buckle up, because we're about to uncover the terrifying truth behind the MUTO Prime's genocide of the Titans, and how Godzilla barely survived. Long before humans built cities, the Earth was ruled by Titans, massive creatures like Godzilla, Ghidorah, and others. But they weren't the only apex predators. The MUTOs, parasitic organisms designed to kill Titans, were their greatest threat. And the queen of them all? MUTO Prime? MUTO Prime wasn't just another monster. She was a perfect Titan killer. Faster, stronger, and more intelligent than regular MUTOs, she was engineered to hunt and exterminate Godzilla's kind. B-roll, MUTO Prime attacking other Titans, EMP pulses, claw strikes. So how did MUTO Prime wipe out an entire species? Let's break it down. MUTO Prime could disable other Titans with electromagnetic pulses, leaving them vulnerable. Imagine Godzilla trying to fire his atomic breath, only for his systems to short out. Terrifying, right? Like her smaller MUTO cousins, Prime laid eggs inside living Titans. These larvae would eat their hosts from the inside out, turning them into breeding nests. Her claws could pierce Titan hide, and her speed made her nearly untouchable. She didn't just fight Titans, she slaughtered them. Over centuries, MUTO Prime hunted down Godzilla's brethren. Titans fell one by one, some infected with MUTO spawn, others torn apart in battle. The few survivors, like Dagon, the Godzilla skeleton from the 2014 movie, were eventually picked off. By the time modern humans appeared, Godzilla was one of the last remaining members of his species, and even he barely survived encounters with MUTO Prime. MUTO Prime is not a creature from modern times. She is an ancient being, a queen of the MUTOs, massive unidentified terrestrial organisms, and one of the most formidable and terrifying Titans to have ever existed. Unlike her smaller counterparts, MUTO Prime is far more dangerous. She is believed to have originated during a time when the Earth was still a volatile primordial planet teeming with massive creatures. The MUTOs, at their core, are parasites. They feed on the radiation of Titans, draining their life force and growing stronger with every victim they consume. But MUTO Prime, the progenitor of the MUTOs, is a different kind of predator. She was the first of her kind, and unlike the smaller MUTOs that appeared in the modern age, MUTO Prime's presence predates the Godzilla species and was capable of controlling and manipulating her offspring for one primary goal: the destruction of the Godzilla species. During the time of the early Titans, the Earth was a brutal battleground where only the strongest survived. MUTO Prime's role in the downfall of Godzilla's ancestors is both tragic and catastrophic. While much of the early history of Godzilla's species remains a mystery, it is widely accepted that they once ruled the Earth, perhaps even thriving in a much different ecosystem before the arrival of the MUTOs. MUTO Prime, with her overwhelming strength and insatiable hunger for radiation, became the primary antagonist to Godzilla's ancestors. Where the Godzillas once acted as the protectors of Earth, the MUTOs were ruthless parasites. MUTO Prime, through her control over the smaller MUTOs, waged a war of attrition on the Godzilla species. Her offspring would attack, drain the energy of Godzillas, and leave them vulnerable to further assault. In these brutal skirmishes, the Godzilla species was slowly decimated. Despite their incredible resilience and immense power, they were no match for the coordinated and relentless attacks from the MUTOs. Over time, MUTO Prime led the charge, her insidious influence spreading across the Earth like a plague, wiping out entire generations of the Godzilla species. One by one, the Godzillas fell, their mighty roars fading into the winds of time. As the Godzilla species faltered, MUTO Prime's reign grew more uncontested. The ecosystem that once flourished under the rule of the Godzillas began to shift. Without the presence of these titans, the balance was thrown into chaos. And yet, MUTO Prime's victory came at a cost. The Godzillas may have fallen, but she too began to feel the effects of this imbalance. Her species, the MUTOs, would eventually become scattered and dormant, awaiting the moment they would once again rise to claim their place in the world. Fast forward to the present day, and the legacy of Godzilla still holds weight. Despite MUTO Prime's victory in annihilating Godzilla's ancestors, the King of the Monsters returned, stronger and more determined than ever. Fast forward to the present day, and the legacy of Godzilla still holds weight. Despite MUTO Prime's victory in annihilating Godzilla's ancestors, the king of the monsters returned, stronger and more determined than ever. But the war between these ancient forces is not over. As the MUTOs resurface and new threats like Kong rise, the delicate balance that Godzilla once maintained is now under threat once again. Godzilla was born during a time when the Earth was still in its primordial state, a time when the planet was constantly shifting and changing. Ancient Titans, creatures that controlled the very forces of nature, lived among the Earth's inhabitants. Godzilla, known in ancient times as a nuclear titan, was a creature with an immense connection to the Earth's natural forces. His species had a critical role in maintaining balance. But after centuries of dormancy, the king of the monsters was awakened, not by the hand of man, but by the destructive forces of nature that had long been forgotten. In the Monsterverse, Godzilla isn't just a force of destruction, he is a protector. Despite the devastation that often follows in his wake, Godzilla's primary purpose is to maintain balance in the world. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019, we learn that the Earth's ecosystem is a delicate one, where the balance between titans is critical to the survival of the planet. When that balance is threatened by other titans, Godzilla rises to reclaim his throne as the apex predator. His first major appearance in the Monsterverse saw Godzilla battling the MUTOs, parasites that feed off the energy of other titans. The MUTOs, led by MUTO Prime, represent the chaotic force that threatens the stability of the Earth. Godzilla, in his true form, represents the order that must restore balance. These first confrontations are just the beginning of Godzilla's journey as Earth's guardian. While MUTO Prime's role in the fall of Godzilla's species is a tragic one, it is a reminder that in the Monsterverse, no creature is safe from the inevitable tides of time. But one thing is certain. The battle between Godzilla and MUTO Prime's kind is far from over. MUTO Prime's impact is still felt in the Monsterverse. Without her, there'd be no power vacuum for Ghidorah to exploit in King of the Monsters. Godzilla might not be the lone king. In the end, the tale of how MUTO Prime killed Godzilla's species is one of destruction, survival, and the enduring spirit of ancient beings. As the Titans continue to fight for dominance, we are reminded that the Monsterverse is a world where history is written in the blood of these colossal beings. And though Godzilla's species may have fallen, the king of the monsters himself remains as a symbol of resilience, a creature destined to fight against the odds. While Godzilla is primarily a creature of nature, his connection to humanity is undeniable. Throughout the Monsterverse, humans have sought to understand, control, and even communicate with these ancient titans. Dr. Ishiro Serizawa, one of the pivotal human characters in the Monsterverse, embodies this connection. His belief that Godzilla, despite his destructive nature, is a force that should be respected and understood rather than feared, is a theme that runs through the series. And who knows? Maybe more MUTO variants are lurking in the Hollow Earth, waiting for their chance to finish what Prime started. The Monsterverse also teased Godzilla's possible offspring in Godzilla vs. Kong, with Kong discovering an ancient war between their species in the Hollow Earth. Could a younger Godzilla emerge as a successor? Additionally, the new empire introduced Tiamat, an aquatic titan with Godzilla-like traits, further expanding the lore. In the world of the Monsterverse, Godzilla is not just a monster. He is a symbol of the primal forces that shape our world. Through destruction and chaos, he is a protector, a guardian, and ultimately, a king. His reign as the king of the monsters is more than just a title. It is a responsibility. As long as titans roam the earth, Godzilla will stand as the ultimate apex predator, a force of nature that will rise whenever the balance is threatened. From the depths of the ocean to the heart of the storm, Godzilla is, and always will be, Earth's protector. Whether you see him as a destroyer or a savior, one truth remains. Godzilla's story is a testament to the survival of the fittest, the unstoppable force of nature, and the king who will never bow to anyone. So what do you think? Was MUTO Prime the deadliest enemy Godzilla ever faced? Could we see more of her kind in future movies? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next Monsterverse breakdown. Until next time, stay awesome and keep roaring.